Hello, my name is Mark and welcome to Norman Computers. So today we're going to talk about small business technology. So there are three things a small business needs, at least in my experience, to remain technologically competitive. And that's going to be your software and equipment, your redundant data storage, and your tech support. Now, software will make your operations more efficient. Fast equipment lets you get more stuff done. Your data storage will protect and allow easy access to your important files. That way you don't lose your information because that's really valuable. And with your tech support, not only is preventative maintenance really important, it's often underutilized, but there's also the general problem solving, and everybody knows about the emergencies that happen when computers just fail. So those are the basics. So let's talk about your software and equipment. So you and your employees need to get as much work done as quickly and efficiently as possible in order to compete. This is, basic premise of business. The more efficient you are, the more profitable you're going to be. Now, your competitors are probably going to be larger and better funded than you are. They're going to have huge resources and manpower at their disposal. You're never going to compete straight up, so you need an edge. Now, your advantage as a small business is going to be greater efficiency and flexibility in your customer service. You can make a decision and implement that decision instantly without having to go through boards or bureaucracy of your business. You can be more agile as a business, and you can just frankly do a better job to your customers, and that's where your edge is. So we want to help you do that. Now, good business management software running on fast computer equipment can help you level the playing field. So this is going to act as a force multiplier. Force multiplier is where something allows one of your people to get as much done as two or three of your competitors' people, and that's big, especially for small business, where every advantage is necessary. Especially when it comes to customer service, you can retain a lot of your customers just by knowing the details about them, having access to that. So most of the software solutions that we build implement database-driven web application technology. And the reason we do this allows your software to run uh, on a web browser from nearly any device, whether it's your cell phone or your iPad or your computer. And it also means that the software is largely independent of your specific equipment. And why is this important? Well, it's because a lot of problems occur when you try to upgrade your computers, when your software becomes obsolete or your computers become obsolete. So this way you can constantly keep your equipment up to speed without fear of software incompatibility or data loss. And also, this allows us to more easily link multiple business locations and all of your field personnel under a common software system. This allows everybody in your organization to communicate seamlessly. This is particularly important for engineering firms that might have field personnel. We see this a lot in like the oil industry. See this a lot in like land surveying, in legal. A lot of times legal teams have to work from different locations, access their equipment, access their data from the courthouse, or just any business that has to communicate from a variety of locations. That makes the software even more important than just a single location business. Also, if you have any sort of uh, liability in your work, you may have to access files that on a project that you might have done years ago, and you're still responsible if something goes wrong. We see that a lot in the IT industry or some of the engineering work that we do, where once we put our name on it, we own it for the rest of our lives. And so if something goes wrong, we can get a call 10 years later and be like, hey, Mark, remember that thing you did for us? Well, I don't always remember, so I have to look it up. So that's going to take us to our next topic, your data storage. So modern cyber threats target your data because your data is your business. It's the most valuable resource you have, and if they can destroy your data, hold it for ransom. You see a lot of these encryption-style ransomware viruses that will encrypt your data and give you 48 hours to go give them lots of money to unlock it for you. Otherwise, you're screwed if you don't have a backup. Also, you need to be able to easily access your data from any location because this improves your efficiency, the utility of your system. But easy access can also increase risk if you don't do it right. And this is the problem that a lot of people run into. So when you're building your data system or choosing your data system, you need to be mindful of not only the ease of access, but what liability are you exposing yourself to. So many small businesses rely on cloud storage for easy access. There's lots of various commercial applications out there. Um, you know, but the problem is that people don't realize these are vulnerable to modern viruses. A lot of, we had just on CNN announced a new encryption-style ransomware that was just spreading like wildfire, and it looks like the authorities shut it down. But this stuff's a real problem nowadays. And just to repeat, yes, modern viruses can destroy your cloud backups. They can propagate from your computer that gets infected up through your cloud solution and corrupt your cloud copy of your data. So you have to be mindful of that. So what I tell people is that their small business should utilize a multi-redundant combination of both online and offline backups with at least one air-gapped copy. Now what that means is your online backups are going to be like a cloud solution or something remotely replicated, so that if your physical location gets destroyed or there's physical damage, hardware failure, etc., you've got a copy somewhere else. Your offline backups are more of a local, off the internet storage solution, which is, protected from an internet threat, but you're vulnerable to the physical damage. And you want at least one air-gapped copy, something that's on like an external hard drive, physically separate in a separate location with no connection to any computer. That way, if the cyber apocalypse happens, you're still covered. And that's the part where a lot of people kind of fall short on because it's time consuming. I know some people that keep multiple offline air-gapped copies. I keep several in different locations, and because we live in tornado country here in Oklahoma. And just being mindful and having a variety of tools makes you more efficient. Now, most of the storage solutions that we build involve what I call a distributed network data system, and so this utilizes both cloud and local storage solutions as well as remote data replication, similar to what I was talking about in number 5 there. So we've been doing this for a number of years now, and this has proven consistently reliable in stopping a variety of data threats. We've stopped malicious actors. Like let's say you're going to fire an employee and they get wind to that and they decide to trash your systems. We've stopped data loss from natural disaster, equipment failure. That's equipment failure is the common one. And we've also stopped ransomware on like a dozen occasions where people just got completely trashed. I'll probably do another video at some point talking specifically about ransomware because it's just that big of a deal. But by having this multi-redundant system, you can actually protect yourself from the ransomware. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of money when bad things eventually happen. So when we build a system, we also try to allow for a great deal of local and remote access because we want you to be able to work from anywhere. I know I like to travel a lot and I want to be able to access my company data, whether I'm visiting my family out east or whether I'm visiting friends in Europe or on a project somewhere. God knows where I end up. I want to be able to access my stuff, and it's not always convenient for me to bring my computers with me. I might have to access my stuff through a cloud copy because airport security can be a real pain in the ass. So me personally, on the systems that I build, I usually try to utilize at least 10 levels of redundancy, which is far greater than most any business will ever need, but I like to play it safe. Why take the chance? So let's talk about your tech support now. So technology gives you a great advantage in efficiency. but it can be pretty complicated. Uh, you can run the risk of all kinds of strange problems, especially when you, like most businesses, are utilizing multiple vendors and everything's not always compatible. Uh, so because time's money and because problems will eventually occur, you need to get them fixed fast. Now, your larger competitors, your Walmarts of the world, are going to have in-house techs that deal with all the stuff full time. But if you're watching this this video, you're probably a small business and you probably don't have that. Most people have somebody on staff, if they're lucky, who knows a little bit about technology, or they might have a tech-savvy friend who helps them out on the side, but they're not always, they're not always available. So when you can't afford that, you need to make sure that your technology vendors do a good job of supporting their stuff. And you have to be careful because some of the complicated problems can involve calling multiple technology vendors, and you have to coordinate between them. This can be sort of a real mess. But that can be somewhat alleviated if you make sure that you take good notes on everything, remember all your passwords and all your account information, and you have somebody who knows how it all works. You're not having to constantly call around. That can help. That can help some of that. So what we do is we focus our business on trying to fill the gaps left by your various technology providers. And because most people have gotten their lives pretty complicated at this point, especially their business lives, especially the work from home professionals who have to rely heavily on technology to make up for the fact that it's just them or maybe them and one or two assistants. So a lot of times people just call us in for emergency service when their in-house tech or their computer savvy friends unavailable, or if it's just over their head. We get a lot of really strange requests sometimes, and that can be kind of interesting, but it's it's kind of stressful when that happens to you. One of the things that we're commonly asked to do is we are asked to be a technology advocate. We coordinate your various technology providers and make sure that everybody's kind of on the same playing field. Some of my largest projects have been nothing but me translating between different technology companies so that the owner of the business can understand, and I've just been there to kind of hold everybody's hand and make sure that everybody does their job and that we get through the project. Now, a lot of times, though, people ask us to be just their one-stop solution, since we can pretty much build anything, and we can, especially with new businesses starting up, they'll usually just say, hey, Mark, can you guys just take care of the whole thing, and then we'll just build them from the ground up. So we can talk about that in later videos, but I just want to give you kind of a brief overview of what you're getting into to be competitive in a modern business. And if you have any questions, you're always welcome to look us up. We've got plenty of information on our website. Go check us out. You can email us at dispatch@normancomputers.com. That email will go to whoever's on duty at the time, or give us a call, 405-292-9501. We'd be happy to help you with your project or give you a little bit of advice. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.